小乐，
我是神神叨叨的大刀。小乐，今天我们来背诵古诗吧。
我才不要，古诗好难呐。
难？哎呀，小乐，那应该是你练习的不够，还有你可能还未发觉语言的节奏感或韵律的奥妙。
语言、节奏、韵律。
你知道吗？每种语言都有它独特的韵律，韵律能让文字变得流畅优美，就像音乐一样。而中文呢，也有自己奇妙的韵律哦。中文是一种声调语言，也就是说，使用不同的声调或音高，就有可能改变一个字的意思。中文主要有4种声调，让我们一起来看看吧。
这我知道，首先第一声是平稳的，
例如刚正不阿的阿，这个成语表示为人正直，充满正气。
接下来第二声是向上扬的，就像在问问题时一样，
例如白鹅的鹅。
然后第三声是先下后上，
例如恶心的恶。
最后第四声是向下的，
例如很饿的饿。是的，语言也可以像音乐一样。除此之外，通过重复像绕口令或古诗这类有节奏感的语句，我们可以同时训练我们舌头和大脑的灵活性，帮助我们更加容易地记住古诗词句，并且让学习中文变得更加有趣呢。小乐，现在就让我们来比一比，看谁可以更好地说出鹅过河这个绕口令。
放马过来吧，谁怕谁。
好，我先来啦。哥哥弟弟坡前坐，坡上卧着一只鹅，坡下流着一条河。哥哥说宽宽的河，弟弟说白白的鹅，鹅要过河，河要渡鹅，不知是那鹅过河还是河渡鹅。
到我了。哥哥弟弟坡前坐，坡上卧着一只鹅，坡下流着一条河。哥哥说宽宽的河，弟弟说白白的鹅，鹅要过河，河要渡鹅，不知是那鹅过河还是河渡鹅。哇！我发现通过反复的练习和重复，真的可以更好的背诵诗句呢。
是啊，掌握了语言的韵律或节奏感，学习中文就变得更加有趣了。
你也不妨尝试一下吧。
既然读到了鹅，让我们也来背诵一首和鹅相关的古诗吧。Given that we have touched on the goose, let's recite an ancient Chinese poem related to the goose. 这首诗就连美国前总统特朗普的外孙女阿尔贝拉在6岁时也会背诵呢。Guess what? Even the granddaughter of former US President Donald Trump, Arabella, could recite this poem when she was 6 years old. 你知道是哪首诗吗？ Did you know which poem is it?
鹅，去向天歌。
对了，这首诗就是唐代诗人骆宾王的《咏鹅》了。That's right, the poem is entitled An Ode to the Goose by 骆宾王, a poet from the Tang Dynasty. 相传骆宾王在年仅7岁时就创作出了《咏鹅》这首诗歌。It is said that 骆宾王 wrote this poem when he was merely 7 years old.
Wow, that's really impressive. 哇，这么厉害呀！
是啊，话说骆宾王在很小的时候就喜欢学习，因此7岁时就已经能写诗作文了。Indeed, it is said that 骆宾王 was an avid learner starting from a very young age, and he could already write poems and compositions by 7.
哇！
骆宾王小年纪便才华横溢的消息一传十，十传百。The news of 骆宾王's exceptional talent at such a young age spread quickly. 自此，举凡来家中拜访的客人都爱顺便测试一下他的才艺。Since then, all visitors to his home loved to stop by and test his talent. 有一次，家中远道而来的一位客人，对这个乳臭未干的小孩能作诗的传闻觉得难以置信。
我就是不相信。
Once, a guest who came from afar found it hard to believe that this child, who was still wet behind the ears, could compose poems. 于是他便带着半开玩笑的口吻问骆宾王。As such, he asked 骆宾王 in a half-joking tone.
小娃娃，听说你会作诗啊，是真的吗？
Hey kiddo, I heard that you can compose poems. Is it true?
骆宾王一听，竟有些生气地回答。Upon hearing this, 骆宾王 replied somewhat indignantly.
哼，这还有假，请您出题吧。Of course it is true. Please come up with a question.
客人看着他那副充满自信的架势，心想。The guest looked at his confident demeanor and thought to himself.
这娃娃口气倒不小，说不定真的有些学识的。我何不出一题来考一考他呢？
That's some interesting statement from this little boy. Perhaps he is really knowledgeable. Why don't I set a question to test him then?
客人环顾四周，看到不远处的池塘中正好有一群白鹅在水中嬉戏，便说。The guest looked around and saw a flock of white geese frolicking in a pond not far away, so he said,
就以这个为题吧，看你能不能做出一首诗来。
Let's use these geese as the theme and see if you can come up with a poem.
骆宾王听了，面不改色地点了点头。Hearing this, 骆宾王 nodded, unperturbed. 随即，他在稍加思索片刻之后，便高声吟诵出了《咏鹅》这首千古名篇。Thereupon, after pondering for a short while, he recited aloud the ancient masterpiece, An Ode to the Goose.
鹅，鹅，鹅，曲项向天歌。白毛浮绿水，红掌拨清波。
客人听了不禁赞叹不已，对面前这个年仅7岁的小娃娃诗人顿时肃然起敬。
厉害！
After hearing this, the guest could not help but was filled with deep admiration and immediate respect for this 7-year-old little poet standing before him. 从此，骆宾王是个小神童一说，便更加的广为流传了。From then on, the news that 骆宾王 was a child prodigy became even more widespread. Let's take a closer look at the meaning of the words in this poem. 让我们再来仔细地看看这首诗的词义。
咏，
用诗词来叙述或描写某一事物 ，meaning to narrate or describe something in poems or verse.
咏鹅，
用诗词来赞美鹅 ，meaning to sing praises of the goose with poetry.
向，
颈的后部，这里指鹅的脖子 ，meaning the back of the neck. Here it refers to the goose's neck.
曲项，
弯着脖子 ，meaning curving the neck.
歌，
鸣叫，长鸣 ，meaning to chirp or to sing.
掌，
诗中指鹅的脚掌 ，referring to the webbed feet of the goose in the poem.
拨，
滑动 ，meaning to paddle. 拨和拔这两个字很容易混淆。Please note that 拨 and 拔 are two Chinese words that can be easily confused with each other. 拔是指拉出的意思，如拔萝卜、拔苗助长等。While 拨 means to paddle. 拔 means to pluck or to pull out, such as to pull out the carrot. Or to pull up the seedlings to help them grow in the Chinese idiom.
拔苗助长。
Do keep a lookout. 大家可要留意哦。
拨清波。
这里指鹅在用脚蹼轻轻划水的样子。Here it refers to the way the goose is gently paddling the water with its flippers. 诗词解释：你看那鹅呀鹅，弯曲着脖子，对着天空鸣叫，好像在唱歌似的。它洁白的羽毛漂浮在碧绿的水面上，红色的脚掌拨动着轻轻的水波。Poetic interpretation. Look at the goose, bending its neck and honking at the sky as if it was singing. Its white feathers float on the emerald waters, and its red webbed feet ruffle the clear waves. 通过这首诗，诗人传达了大白鹅在池塘中自由自在地游水嬉戏的宁静景象。Through this poem, the poet conveyed the serenity in the sight of the big white goose swimming and frolicking freely in the pond. Now, let us recite the poem once more. 现在，让我们再来朗诵一遍这首古诗吧。《咏鹅》，唐·骆宾王。
咏鹅，唐·骆宾王。
鹅，鹅，鹅，
鹅，鹅，鹅，
曲项向天歌。
曲项向天歌。
白毛浮绿水，
白毛浮绿水。
红掌拨清波，
红掌拨清波。
棒极了 ，awesome！
Can you still recall the tongue twister, the goose crossing the river? 你还记得鹅过河的绕口令吗？ Practice along with us， 和我们一起来练习吧。也记得点赞视频和订阅频道哦。Remember to like the video and subscribe to the channel too. Ready, go! 哥哥弟弟坡前坐，
坡上卧着一只鹅。
坡下流着一条河，
哥哥说
宽宽的河，
弟弟说
白白的鹅。
鹅要过河，河要渡鹅，不知是那鹅过河还是河渡鹅。